So we head to our joint Top of the Bill live tonight on Fox Sports Africa and our affiliate channels. We have two WBA vacant titles, the Pan-African title at stake at lightweight first up and then at featherweight. And first up in the lightweight division tonight, Ayanda Nkosi against Jeffery Magagane. And a fair amount of feeling surrounding this fight, remembering that this is a rematch. They didn't meet very long ago, and there are a few scores outstanding to be settled here tonight in Gaborone. Back to Brian Mulder.
All right, so this is the business end of things, because we now going to have a bout for the vacant WBA Pan-African Lightweight Championship. So, both these guys come from South Africa, so we want you to really get behind the fighters and see exactly what is going on. This is the belt that they are fighting for. Where is Our Lady? This is for the vacant WBA Pan-African Lightweight belt. So, let's bring the fighters in. As I said, they're both from South Africa, so let's welcome the first one in, Ayanda Nkosi.
So what an opportunity for Ayanda Nkosi. Only his 9th professional fight, but a major title opportunity now. The 25-year-old from Gaborone in South Africa. Absolutely buzzing since he arrived here in Gaborone, full of confidence, and that is mainly because he does have a victory over tonight's opponent in the recent past. March 2017 in Randburg, he beat Jeffery Magagane on points, but it was close, it was contested, and it's about repeat or revenge tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce the officials and the boxers to you, can you please be upstanding for the South African national anthem? Because of that anthem, let's bring in the second principal for you right now, Jeffery Magagane.
A bit of a wait. That'll only sharpen his appetite here, and Jeffery Magagane now on the way out. The man from Johannesburg.
All right, so we've got the principal.
Cannot wait to get on with it, understandably.
Let's introduce you to the judges. Mr. Snowball Esther Kamlashe. And of course, the referee for this fight will be our Centurion, Stan Christodoulou. Obviously, everything is overseen by our WBA supervisor, Gerald Ramsden.
World-renowned referee tonight, Stanley Christodoulou, taking charge.
So, the principals, their complete record stands as follows. You weighed in at 60.85 kilograms. Fighting out of the blue corner, he's had 8 fights, 7 wins. Wearing the silver and black trunks, please put your hands together for Ayanda Nkosi. His opponent, weighed in at 60.40 kilograms, 9 fights, 8 wins, 1 loss. Wearing the black and silver trunks, please put your hands together for Jeffery Magagane. This is for the vacant WBA Pan-African Lightweight Championship belt. Boxers.
Right, you both know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Shake hands and good luck to you both. With a mouthpiece, eh?
Seconds out, round number 1.
So here we go with the first big fight of the night, live on Fox Sports Africa for the vacant WBA Pan-African lightweight title. Ayanda Nkosi in the silver and black. Jeffery Magagane in the multicolored. Magagane still very sore about the outcome. His only professional defeat against Nkosi. He has bounced back by beating Willie Baloyi in June of this year in Randburg, but this is the fight he's been eyeing. His chance to revenge what happened when these two boys met the first time. Magagane southpaw. I said multicolored, but it's mainly blue and white with a little bit of silver in there, and the additional colors of the cycling shorts, black cycling shorts. Don't see that a lot in boxing. Nkosi, nice and steady early on. That long left lead. There'll be no surprises stylistically, but Christodoulou gets right in there, the referee, the great Stanley Christodoulou, and said, this is not ballroom dancing, gentlemen. We've come here to have a fight tonight, so could we please get on with it? And a major title opportunity for both. Just emphasises, I think, this very slow beginning, just how big a moment in the career of both this is. Nobody wants to be the one to make a big mistake, which could prove so very costly. Very Very upright, Nkosi. Just keep an eye on that left hand of Magagane here early on, because that is the defensive tool to negate what is that right hand there. You see it, and Nkosi's right hand, which is a big weapon for him, and he's got it cocked to throw at all times. When you've fought a man before, you know that, and that is the protective shield that Magagane's deploying here early on. Last 10 seconds. Not a lot have landed at all for Magagane. Well, Stanley might have to have a word again in a moment or two. Not the most explosive round of championship boxing to get us underway we've ever seen. Doing our best to pick out the highlights of it for you. An enraptured crowd here at this extraordinary venue. Opulent, elegant. What a privilege it is to be here. I've been at ringside all around the world, seldom in such luxurious circumstances, I have to say. But a very enthusiastic, passionate boxing crowd in here tonight nonetheless.
Seconds out, round number 2.
Here we go for the second round, scheduled for 12. The first of 2 championship bouts here tonight.
Look.
Magagane trying to show a bit busier here early in the second round. Needs to. Nkosi very composed. It's a vacant title. But it's the key to pretty much everything that these boys could go on and hope to achieve in their careers tonight, if they can grab this title. It would shoot them up the rankings internationally. The respected BoxRec ranking organisation this morning had Nkosi at number 18 among lightweights in Africa. And of course he'll have a little bit in hand on Magagane, having beaten him. Magagane doesn't rate in the top 20 at the moment. Nkosi just found his man then. Can't afford to get ragged, Magagane. Nkosi beginning to loosen up. Got nice variety in his work. Tentative, speculative jab by Magagane is not going to take him where he needs to get to in this fight. Just padding it out there. Needs to be sharper about closing the range. Respectful nod from Magagane. And Nkosi looks very, very comfortable in there at the moment for me. And that's bad news for Magagane. He's got to make him feel uncomfortable.
Listen.
Not doing enough.
Say break, you step back, okay? No funny business like that. Box. Break. Step back.
So 2 rounds have gone, and not a lot has gone right so far for Jeffery Magagane, I'm afraid.
Hey, keep your punches up.
Nkosi gets the telling off from the referee, but Nkosi, I think, probably shaded the round. Best shot he's thrown all night probably was that one by Magagane. Look at the legs crossing. It's all a bit confusing and a bit messy at the moment, isn't it? But Nkosi is managing the job that little bit better.
Second set, round
Got to
number
relax, Magagane. Easier said than done, I'm well aware of that. So often, whatever is said about the outcome of a first fight, the second meeting goes the way of the first. It may go differently in terms of the way the fight develops, but the result stays the same. It's remarkable in boxing how often it does happen. It's like the first man who wins just leaves an indelible mark on the second. All Nkosi's dreams and hopes in this lightweight division resting upon success tonight. Some high-quality men at the top of those ratings I spoke about. The two Ghanaians, Richard Comney and Emmanuel Tago, lead the way. These two boys from South Africa, of course. Nkosi from Gauteng, Magagane from Johannesburg. I suppose the best of the South Africans, internationally speaking, in this division at the moment would be Jolishani Ndongeni, who I think I'm right in saying is now based in America. Originally from East London in South Africa. He's on the world scene. This is where these boys want to get to. This is their passport tonight. Also men like Patrick Malinga and Zonkefana. Thompson Mokwana. The winner of this puts their name up with those fellas. Could be a very big draw back in South Africa. Again, a lot misses for Magagane. He's expending a lot of energy for not very much reward. That's another factor here, I think, over the 12-round distance. Occasional moments of encouragement, but Nkosi's seeing an awful lot of what's coming the other way very early and getting out of the way of it. He's looking so composed, this fellow. It's all a bit of a dancing class so far, I'm afraid. Nkosi is fighting at the moment, to me, like a man who thinks that Magagane is going to unravel.
I'll take a point away. You with me? Don't do that. Corners.
It's in third gear. He will feel he's winning the rounds. Nothing scoring there for Magagane, and again he just falls a little bit short, and that I think is a replay which bears out my point that Nkosi is just got the air of a man who feels he has the measure of the opponent. It's still very early in the fight, it's a 12-round championship fight, and a lot of things can change, but at the moment Nkosi gives off the air of feeling he is in charge. And he's hardly broken sweat so far. Certainly not breathing. He's not done a lot. Magagane has put a lot more work in for less reward so far. So still we wait for it to catch fire as we head into the fourth round. He's had no problem at all, Nkosi, stylistically with the southpaw so far. Jab, 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 jab. That was the message from the corner there.
Right, step back.
For Magagane. And they're right, they need to see that. Excellent, Nkosi. That was the cry from their corner as their man found the target with that right cross. One or two in the crowd starting to get after Magagane a little bit. Come on, they say, we need more from you. Well, he's trying. Cannot find a way past that snaky, orthodox left lead often enough, Magagane. Nkosi has his measure at range. That left hand knows what he's doing with it.
Right, step back.
You could argue that fighting at this pace is playing right into Nkosi's hands, and that may be something Magagane is going to have to think about. Needs to up it, perhaps. Get into top gear. And devil take the consequences. Because if it goes on like this, it's going to be hard for him to win. He may not be very conversant with the 12-round distance. That's always a factor that comes into play when a man is not used to championship boxing. How am I going to get through 12 rounds when I'm used to 8 or 10 at the most? That might be in his mind, but that is better. That's what he needs. That's what the crowd needs to see. Magagane has to start going for it a bit to give Nkosi something to think about. Hopefully that little flourish from Magagane's point of view will encourage. It was better, but there's not been enough of it from Magagane. Tries again. And Nkosi said, no, I read that one all right. Nkosi looks to finish authoritatively.
Right, step back.
It's been a little bit better in this round from Magagane, as it needed to be. He started to set about his man a bit more. That should lift him. The body language suggests. And Towell says, well done, that was better, as he goes back to the corner. Got to leave all the baggage behind. The defeat, the preparation, how big the stakes are here tonight. He has got to focus on winning the rounds, one by one. Also, I think it should be said in the corner to him, don't fear what's coming back the other way. And Nkosi has never stopped anyone. He is not a big hitter.
Round number 5.
Seconds out.
He wins fights long, at distance, over the distance. And that's exactly how Ayanda Nkosi has fought through the first 4 rounds of this fight. If you're the opponent, you have to set about him.
You're tripping on his toe. Boxer.
He's a good operator, is Nkosi, when he's allowed to fight in his rhythm. And he's in his rhythm at the moment. Bit better, bit sharper by Magagane, but more is needed. Nkosi got great ring intelligence, responded immediately. One little flurry around is not going to be enough here from Magagane. Oh, that's a cracking right hand by Nkosi. Another shake of the head by Magagane, but I don't think we were fooled by that. That landed hard. It's beginning to boil a little bit, this fight. It's been percolating slowly on the stove since the off. Now it's really starting to heat up a bit. Magagane's ticked off a few rounds, if doing the 12 rounds was a problem mentally. Just injecting a bit more energy into this. And Nkosi has responded well in this round.
Step back.
That's nice work from Nkosi. But I think we'd all like to see him demonstrate that quality in a higher gear. It looks like he's got it. Magagane's doing his level best now to get him out of the rhythm. For me, it's just too long between these salvos for Magagane. 5, 10, 15 seconds go between flurries of punches. And Nkosi, I think that much argument about this either. Nkosi, the more accurate. And again, lovely right cross by Nkosi. He's a real craftsman. More energy from Magagane, but more precision from Nkosi to sum up that round. Interesting stuff. It's a great shot. A great shot from our camera boys of a great shot by Nkosi.
Seconds out, round number 6.
It was almost both corners saying the same things to their man then. We need to work harder. And they're absolutely right about it. I think the reason why they're both so tentative overall in this fight is that they have not got a lot of 12-round championship experience under their belts. Just checking, in the case of Nkosi, only 33 professional rounds boxed in his whole career so far. Short distance points wins. That explains a lot, I think, as to how they've gone about this. It wouldn't shock me to see a barnstorming last 3 or 4 rounds.
Get back.
Nkosi nice and accurate again. He's a bit more precise in his punching, I think, than Magagane. I don't think anybody could really contest that. Magagane's key is work rate. Has to keep it high. Allowing Nkosi to come forward like this, very measured. Allowing him to construct these attacks. That's not going to work for Magagane.
Step back.
Quite interesting, actually, in the Nkosi corner. They feel as though their man is not really exploiting all his quality in this fight so far. In the other corner, it's a case of, come on, we need the pressure. We need to apply it. But again, he's moving away here, Magagane. And this is where Nkosi wants him to be. It's beginning to warm up again. Magagane just can't find his man often enough. And Nkosi, with that right hand, was waiting for him. Magagane just seems a little reluctant even now to throw all his cards on the table, but that's what he's going to come to in this fight, I think.
Step back.
Bearing in mind, we're pretty much at the halfway stage now.
Stop holding. Step back. Stop! When I say step back, you with me?
And Nkosi still looks like a man who believes he's in control of the fight as we reach the halfway point. He may be right. Finding him underneath beautifully. It's quite surgical, a lot of this work by Nkosi. Surgical and effective. Even then, in that slow motion, I think it sums it up from Magagane's point of view. He just hesitates too much, too tentative.
Seconds out, round number 7.
Oh, thanks.
Johannesburg's Jeffery Magagane looking for revenge tonight over Ayanda Nkosi in this all-South Africa matchup for the WBA Pan-African lightweight title. Nkosi, cool, well-skilled, confident. Magagane fighting in fits and starts so far. Surely needs to exert more pressure. And take Nkosi out of his comfort zone. He's threatened to do it on quite a few occasions, but he's not seen it through yet.
Step back.
Left hand down the pipe. I don't think really found the target. Magagane again is happy to give ground and allow Nkosi to lead off. These are not the tactics that will bring him victory.
Step back. Step back. Step back.
Nkosi again having the better of these exchanges. They're not telling shots. We don't think he's got an awful lot of power judged on the record, but one or two little signs of wear and tear beginning to show for Magagane. That won't count as a knockdown, but he found him again since Magagane got to his feet. Magagane needs to respond and fight fire with fire, quite literally so. Decent left hook by Nkosi. This is better from Magagane. Nkosi shakes his head to say, "You're not troubling me." I don't think either corner's particularly happy with their man. Magagane backs away again and invites Nkosi to unload upon him.
Step back.
7 rounds have gone by here. You can make up your own mind as to how many Nkosi has actually dropped to Magagane so far. But an overwhelming sense, quite interestingly, that neither corner is particularly happy with their man's work so far in this fight. Now, it's understandable, the stakes are so very high tonight. 12-round championship fight, key to so many other things. Bit ragged again by Magagane. Technically, that's pretty artistic, isn't it, by Nkosi, swinging through the arc like the coaches like to say. He's a very technically proficient fighter. And he thinks he's bossing it against Magagane.
Number 8.
Look at Nkosi here, up on his toes. All going nicely for him. He's full of confidence. Almost as though he's blocking out what he's been told in the corner about being busier. They see the danger, that's the problem. Nkosi is in there. He thinks, I'm in charge here. This kid can't worry me. But they, in the corner, know that Magagane won't go away. And while he's in there, throwing, he can be a threat. The problem is tactical for Magagane. Doesn't lead off enough. Better left hand by Magagane. Needs more. But that is the problem. All night long in this fight, 2 or 3 good shots, no follow-up. Does he throw the left here? Well, it's almost thrown as an afterthought, sadly for Magagane. Nkosi walks his man down. He is a very strong-looking lightweight, Nkosi. In great shape, that's clear. Hasn't come up here to this amazing resort for a holiday. He's all business tonight, Ayanda Nkosi, and he thinks, in his own mind, he's deploying the tactics to win and go home with the title belt. That's what this is all about for him. That's beautiful. Magagane just soaked it up, and he does again. Needs to fight fire with fire. I've said it before.
Gets fighting.
Uppercut found the mark as well then from Nkosi. It's a good round for him so far, this. Just signs that he's starting to build a winning lead now.
Step back.
Tentative stuff from Magagane. Not a lot has actually been effective from him. Don't think he's moving on his legs quite as well as his opponent either. Nkosi sends him back across the ring. Not going to score points like that, Magagane. That's a good and busy round for me, for Ayanda Nkosi.
Seconds out, round number 9.
Wait there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading into the championship rounds here, live tonight on Fox Sports Africa and on our affiliate channels. Going far and wide, we hope you're enjoying this championship action tonight from the Grand Palm here in Gaborone, Botswana. All South African affair for the Pan-African lightweight title, WBA version. And the key to a big fight or more, life-changing opportunities up the road for the winner. The stakes could not be higher, and that may explain the tentative nature of some of what we have seen so far. But Jeffery Magagane in the blue is, in my view, coming off second best by some margin against Ayanda Nkosi, who's already found the target effectively early in this 9th round. Nkosi's corner still after his man, after their man to keep busy, keep on working that jab.
Step back. Stop. Don't hold, pull your leg. Box.
Christodoulou gets in there, will not allow that, Stanley. I can only think that Nkosi in the gym looks a really classy fighter, because when he's allowed the space, as he's got it right here, to set himself to work, he is looking a very high-quality operator and a man who can climb the lightweight rankings internationally very quickly. We've had 2 minutes of this 9th round, and I'm not sure that we've seen one proper scoring punch from Magagane.
Right. Step back.
Looks a bit downcast, doesn't he, the man in the blue, black, white, multicolored trunks. Hopefully, he won't come away from this and wake up in the morning thinking, I did not give of my best. As Nkosi begins to set about him. Don't think Magagane was in any trouble then, but he walks away looking for a bit of a breathing space. Nkosi's corner are getting their wish now as he turns up the wick here. Magagane looking for room, looking for oxygen, looking for breathing space. He's not getting any of those things as Nkosi begins to wear his man down. That's got to be a shutout round for me, for Nkosi. And everything went his way. He even had his stool right under him when the bell went at the end of that 9th round. Magagane landed little or nothing of consequence. Tentative right jab. Nkosi read that all the way. Sharp left-hand counter. Look at Nkosi on his toes, inviting Magagane to make a mistake, and all too often, Magagane has obliged him, unfortunately.
Seconds out, round number 10.
Seconds out.
This is the 10th. There are 3 rounds. I think it's fair comment to say Jeffery Magagane needs all 3 of them to have any hope of lifting this WBA Pan-African lightweight title. Magagane in reverse gear early in the 10th, as we've seen in previous rounds.
Step back.
Nkosi beginning to open up a bit more.
Step back. step back.
Have they got any fresh ideas to offer in that corner for Magagane, I wonder? Magagane needs to get away from those ropes. He did that bit all right. Everything about Nkosi's body language suggests to me that he feels he's got the measure of the job tonight. I know anything can happen in boxing. It's one of the reasons we love it. But at the moment, it seems fanciful to suggest that there's even one big shot in Magagane that could maybe knock Nkosi out of his rhythm. Some nice stuff here as the rounds are going along from Ayanda Nkosi, and the crowd are warming to it. The Magagane camp felt they did not get much luck in the first meeting with Nkosi. But I don't believe at the moment there's any possibility of a hard luck story this time.
Step back.
Nkosi closing the distance quickly, walking his man down.
Step back.
I did say he looked in great shape even at the weigh-in, Nkosi, but I'll tell you what, up close, he's hardly even breathing deeply. 10 rounds into this.
Step back.
He is prepared magnificently for this job, and it looks like it's paying off. Legs just beginning to look a bit weary, and the body language is not positive in this corner, is it? Not even looking for oxygen. Nkosi, very impressive. But it does underline as well that he has fought at a pace that suits him. And Magagane has fallen into that trap in a major way. Downcast, head down, little shake of the head in there. What do I do now, boys? 2 rounds to turn it all around and prove us all wrong for Jeffery Magagane. But the 11th starts the way the 10th, the 9th, the 8th did, with Nkosi on top and working from the center of the ring. Nice right cross. That's an even better one. And Nkosi has got better round by round. Never been able to create the right angles, Magagane, to make the southpaw style give the orthodox man a problem. And being in these situations is not good for Magagane.
Break. Put your head when you're walking.
While he's on his feet, there's still hope, of course. But as to how he might turn it round, well, your guess is as good as mine, ladies and gentlemen.
Break. Step back. Break. Step back.
Magagane looks to be pinning all his hopes on finding the shot of his life here.
Beat him behind the head.
Nkosi, the busier, the sharper, the more accurate.
Rick, step back.
Again, he cedes ground. I think there's a little bit of water in the corner there, which confused Magagane ever so slightly. It does happen. Certainly lost concentration for a millisecond against a devastating puncher. That could be lights out time, of course. Don't think that will happen against Nkosi. But it's educated pressure from Ayanda Nkosi, and it's winning the night here.
Step back.
Down the stretch, they say. 11th and only the 12th to follow. They are down the stretch now.
Listen, don't hold, you're not dancing. Okay.
Little late flurry of business from Magagane, but stretching credulity, I think, to suggest that that could even get him a share of a round when Ayanda Nkosi boxed, got into his rhythm and dominated pretty much every facet, as he has done for most of the recent rounds for me.
Ah, I think so.
He always seems to have a few more ideas, Nkosi.
Seconds out. This is the 12th and final round. Boxers shake hands.
So here we go for the 12th and final round. Neither man has much experience or knowledge of what it's like. But at the moment, it looks like it could be a comfortable cruise over the line for victory for Ayanda Nkosi. The good news for Jeffery Magagane is that he is still in there. The bad news, in my view, humble opinion, he's well behind on the scorecards.
Step back.
Going to need something way out of the ordinary in this last round for Jeffery Magagane to upset what looks a certain fate here. Amazing things do happen in boxing.
Break, step back.
Break.
Break, step back.
Remember once the great Julio Cesar Chavez in Las Vegas. It may have been 1994. He had been given the shock of his life by Meldrick Taylor, and he pulled it out with what, 2 or 3 seconds left. This is the kind of thing Magagane's looking for now. But it is Nkosi who sets about him again.
Break, step back.
Nkosi doesn't look in anything like the frame of mind to chuck it away now. He's put in so many good rounds. He's put in so much work to prepare for this. It's all paying off for him. He's been in great shape, thought about the job, thought about fighting 12 rounds, thought about what this man offered, came up with a plan. And even if his corner felt he perhaps wasn't as energetic enough in the first half of the fight, he has cranked it up round by round. And as you saw there from that great aerial shot, he's not going to chuck this away. Decent left by Magagane, but it's all looking rather hopeless now for the man in the blue and the multicoloured trim.
Break step back.
Looking hopefully for assistance from outside, but there's nothing left to be said for Tawil & Co. except, come on, one shot, son, if you have it, and deliver it right now. But it's not going to come. And Ayanda Nkosi has put on a thoroughly high-quality display here. He can be well pleased, and he must go back to his corner in the knowledge that he has won. Magagane did not have the ideas. That's hopeful, very hopeful indeed for me. From the middle part of the fight, this is what we saw round after round. Nkosi setting the agenda. Too many angles, all off that good jab. Nothing like as effective from Magagane's side. And Magagane had to find more angles and throw more, as simple as that. And he couldn't, he just couldn't do it. Individual shots, yes, but sustained flurries of punching, no. The pressure came from Ayanda Nkosi, the precision came from Nkosi, and surely the victory is his. All he can do, this kid, is pray for a miracle. And Nkosi looks like he's been to the gym for a training session, doesn't he? Train hard, fight easy. He looked like he trained really hard for this. The man in possession of the belt in there at the moment, Barry Lambert, the senior advisor to Fox Sports. And I think it's a fair assumption at this moment to say it will shortly be the property of Ayanda Nkosi. But it is the passport to greater things. That's a nice shot. Stanley Christodoulou has had the most extraordinary career in boxing, world-renowned. And an honour to be on a show with him, frankly, as it is with Mr. Lambert. Scorecards being tallied and checked. always the thought that as the delay goes on, a doubt may creep into the mind of a man who thinks he's won, and a little bit of hope might start to spring into the heart of a man who surely feels he's lost. I'd be pretty shocked, I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here's the decision now from Brian Mulder.
The judges have scored this fight as follows. Judge Snowball scores the fight 113 to 115. Magagane. Judge Esther Hazen scores the fight 115 to 113. Nkosi. Judge Klamlasi scores the fight 115 to 113, and the winner by split decision is Nkosi.
Ayanda Nkosi gets it. Personally, I find it quite astonishing that it is a split decision, but the right outcome nonetheless. Nkosi wins. Magagane somehow did enough to persuade Judge Wally Snowball tonight that the victory should be his. But Nkosi will, as forecast, be going home with the WBA Pan-African lightweight title, and he could be on his way to much bigger things. Quality performance tonight, and it might only be the start for him. And this is his moment. He's going to enjoy it.
And he's done it now for the winner, Ayanda Nkosi.
So with the applause ringing out for Ayanda Nkosi, we'll take a short break. Our joint top of the bill comes next. It's another Pan-African title fight, featherweight version next up. So please rejoin us in just a moment here in Gaborone.